We are into the second half of this regular season in the USL Championship, and we start this Saturday night from Segra Field in Leesburg as Loudoun United plays host to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. With former Rowdy and MLS goalkeeper Jeff Fatinella, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. A look at the Eastern Conference standings, where the Tampa Bay Rowdies a chance to go level on points with top spot in Lou City. Of course, Loudoun, though, sitting in 12th spot, looking to move up the standings and closer to that playoff line. But when we talk about Loudoun United, it's been an up and down season for them, but these last 4 games at home have definitely been a bright spot.
Yeah, you know, when we talk about Loudoun, we want to see if they could bring the energy tonight. They're a young group. We know that the coach gave them the weekend off. They had the weekend off last week. So can they bring that energy? Can they catch the Rowdies sleeping a little bit? And I'm excited to see what these young guys have after getting the weekend off.
And on the other side for Tampa Bay, they have been unbeaten their last 9. They've been one of the top teams in the league.
Yeah, for Tampa Bay, I think it's the exact opposite story. Can they play to their standard? They know that they're playing a team that's beneath them in the standings, and this is the game that they know they should win. So can they go into a challenging environment and play to their standard for the full 90 minutes?
This is a Tampa Bay side that has had Loudoun's number in recent years, but when we look at some players to watch, we'll start with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Nobody has been better so far this season than Leo Fernandez, the June Player of the Month in the league.
Yeah, you know, he's an MVP candidate. A lot of people are saying that he's the first half of the season MVP. Can he keep up this run of form? Because as he goes, the Rowdies are going to go. And if he's putting balls in the back of the net, you know that the Rowdies are going to have success. So I'm excited to see what he has in store for us tonight.
His 6th season with Tampa Bay, 9 goals, 4 assists for Fernandez so far this season. He will no doubt be amongst the goals for the Rowdies tonight. So we are building you up to first kick on a sunny evening from Segra Field. It's Loudoun United, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Lineups and first kick are coming up next.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
It is a beautiful night here from the DMV area. Leesburg, Virginia, Segra Field is our site. It's Loudoun United and the Tampa Bay Rowdies' first game off on this Saturday night in the USL Championship. It's time to take a look at tonight's starting lineups. And we will start with the home side in Loudoun United. And Ryan Martin, similar formations on both sides tonight.
Yeah, you know, we're going with the back 3. They got the 4 in the midfield and the 3 up top. We're excited to see how they're able to stay disciplined, and can they keep their shape, and can they limit their mistakes. I think that those are going to be the keys tonight, so we're excited to see what this group has in store.
And of course, it will be Luis Zamudio getting the start in goal tonight. An experienced back line, of course, with Jalen Robinson and Grant Lillard. On the other side for Tampa Bay, few changes for Neil Collins tonight, but that similar 3-4-3.
Right, we expect them to come out in the same formation as Loudoun is, and at the same time, we're excited to see how these new lineup changes are gonna fit into this. But you know, Neil Collins has built a pretty solid system where I think that he knows he could plug and play players and expect to see the same results.
And a fun note: Ian Antley, the brother of Connor Antley, on the bench after signing a 25-day contract yesterday, so a chance we see both of the Antleys out there tonight for the Rowdies.
Just what I need in my first game calling. Two with the same last name.
Yes, welcome to the broadcasting world, Jeff Atnell. Excited to have you as we get set for first kick. It's Loudoun in white in the bright green Volt kits, I guess we'll call them. Tampa Bay Rowdies, there's the whistle, and away we go. Loudoun United and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Well, these two teams don't have a whole lot of history. This is just the 7th game between the two. 4 wins for Tampa Bay, just 1 for Loudoun. They have drawn once as well, but those results all the way back in 2019. And last time out for Loudoun United, that 2-2 draw against FC Tulsa. That was 2 weeks ago. They did have a week off. So Ryan Martin has been able to get this team a little bit of rest, and as he pointed out to us, and it was a very good point, none of these players on any side have played this long of a season in quite a few years because of the pandemic. So they're kind of back into that full grind of a season, and here we are in the dog days of July.
Yeah, you know, he talked about it as the weekend off being an advantage for his team, and you see right off the kickoff, they're putting the Rowdies under pressure right away. Right off the kickoff, they go direct, they put their center backs under pressure, and now they're able to put them on their heels a little bit and contain possession of the ball to start this game. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing off of the jump from Loudoun.
This is lofted forward again. Loudoun, pretty good start to this one. Diarra, long switch of play, off the chest, and the shot blocked down. So already off the bat, Tampa Bay under a little bit of pressure. They really haven't even had the ball yet.
This is what we talked about, right? Can the Rowdies match this energy? And of course, you know that Loudoun's going to come out. We talked about their energy level. We talked about a young team at home. Can the Rowdies weather this initial push, get control of the ball, and then start dictating the game that they want to? But right now, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Loudoun. They seem patient, and right on cue, it's a turnover.
It'll be a throw in here for Tampa Bay. They are coming off that 3-2 win, a thrilling win it was over Hartford Athletic on the road. Sebastian Dahlgaard scoring once, Leo Fernandez, a couple of penalties in that game. And that was enough to get the win. They had to come back on the road. Of course, that last goal deep into stoppage time, but Neil Collins very pleased with that performance, and he said it was a lot to digest, but ultimately pushing right until the end is really good to see. And here's Dahlgaard coming into the attack again. Nice touch there to get that ball away, and now it's Robinson to play out.
That was a great switch there on the ball. He picked his head up, saw the open runner on the line. That was a great switch of play and created a dangerous chance there for the Rowdies. I love that ball.
A flag up for offside as we take a look at our keys to the game. They are brought to you by Country Buick GMC of Leesburg. What do you got?
No, for Loudoun, it's about staying disciplined. They know that they're playing an opponent that has championship ambitions, and they know that part of their issue this season has been riding games out and seeing victories out throughout the whole process. So for them, for me, it's stay disciplined. And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, we talked about it. Can you bring your own energy? Sometimes these are the hardest games as players when you're going into an environment where there might not be as big of a crowd. You're playing an opponent that you know that you should beat. Can you match the energy that Loudoun's going to bring? Because if you can't, then it's going to be a long night.
And of course, this Tampa Bay side coming in unbeaten in their last 9 games, 7-0-2. So most of those 9 have been wins. They're outscoring their opponents 23-9 during that stretch. They've scored 5 goals in a game twice during that stretch against Tampa Bay, or pardon me, against Phoenix and against Pittsburgh. So this Tampa Bay side has been in very good form, both offensively and defensively. Although when you think of the Rowdies in prior years, it's almost all defensively, but they've really been able to push the right buttons in the attack so far this year.
Right now, they're doing a great job of going side to side. I love what Hilton's doing when he gets on the ball. He switches play, and you look at how they're circulating the ball around. They're making Loudoun defend, they're making Loudoun chase, and they're just doing a great job making them chase and burning up that youthful energy that we talked about.
Of course, this Tampa Bay defense without Jordan Scarlett tonight, as he is suspended due to the red card last week. Another chance coming here for Loudoun. Leyland coming through. Now it's Wyke who steps in for Tampa Bay. He'll be able to get this out clear. Arman, long ball over the top. Loudoun stretched here, trying to play this through. It's Dos Santos who settles, and he was in an offside position. A lot of transition in this game early on.
Yeah, you know, you'd like to see somebody get control of the ball a little bit more on either side, just to maybe slow it down and not be so stretched. But you know, I'm liking what I'm seeing from both teams. A little bit of direct to start the game, but at the same time, you'd like to see somebody get a little bit more control on the ball.
This Tampa Bay side, when you look at big chances created, they lead the USL Championship with 48 so far this year. They're averaging nearly 2 goals a game. That's 5th best in the league as a whole. And another turnover. Here's DR on this near side. He's had the ball quite a bit. He'll take the shot on. Cochran down to his left and pushing this aside, defending that near post.
For the love of the gloves, CJ Cochran, what a save there. He gets down low. That's a tough ball. He does a great job covering in his near post. You don't expect a player to shoot near post there. He does a great job getting that big hand down. That's a challenging save for a big guy to get low like that to the near post. That's a huge touch. Great save there by CJ Cochran.
From one Tampa Bay goalkeeper to another there.
Yeah, I'll probably give goalkeepers a lot more love than you're used to on this broadcast. Man, that's a great save. Well done there.
As the corner comes in, it was cleared away. Now Gamble again, blocked down. Gamble still coming in, just lost it there in the end. A chance now to play out. Hilton couldn't get the pass right. Loudoun more time on the ball in the early going. This Loudoun side, of course, all the way down in 12th position at the moment in those Eastern Conference standings, but they're not afraid to possess the ball. They're top 5 in possession, right around 53% of the ball that they have during games. So shouldn't be too much of a surprise maybe that they've had the ball quite a bit here in the early going. Hope Gunn lofts this forward. The clearing header for a throw-in.
When we talked to Coach Collins, we talked about them getting a little bit too stretched out versus Hartford, and I think he's gonna like what he sees right now with the Rowdies sitting back in this block. They're really making Loudoun make the passes that are gonna have to beat them when they're settled in their block, and I think that's what he was talking about, what he'd like to see more. So they're off to a good start when you're talking about that.
There's Leyland who slid in there, taking down Fernandez, who we of course mentioned in the open. USL Championship June Player of the Month. He's put himself, at least in my opinion, firmly in that MVP conversation. Although Haji Berry last night, a tremendous performance for the Switchbacks. He might be the front runner at the moment. It'll be a good battle all the way until the end. Hilton, trying to loft that forward again, and it's headed clear. Loudoun trying to break. They'll find space on the near side with Robinson. Robinson, who came up in the DC United Academy. Spent about 5 years with DC United. Then was away for a year with Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and now finding himself back here with the DC United setup with Loudoun United. Here's Fernandez, Venke Azil. An outlet ball just off the mark.
They have the right ideas early, though. I've been impressed with them early. When the Rowdies are sitting back in their block, they're able to move the ball side to side. But when they have the Rowdies a little bit stretched, even though it's not coming off right away, they're looking for that dangerous penetrating ball that's going to cause problems. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of them early.
It's a team in Loudoun, when you ask coaches around the league, always impressed with what they're trying to do and the level at which they can play, but it's those, of course, youthful mistakes that you'll see in the terms of development with teams such as Loudoun, as the flag is up for offside. But that was something that Ryan Martin talked about in terms of how can we close games out better. They gave up that stoppage time equalizer to FC Tulsa a couple weeks ago. They were firmly in the driver's seat for 3 points, not able to close it out, but he said that's just a good lesson moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part when you're dealing with youth, right? You learn so much through experience when you're playing the game. You're going through different situations, you got to go through these things, and you got to take your lumps as players to learn. You know, that's the best way that you can learn on the field, and you know, we were talking to the coach about it, and as he said, those are lessons that he's learned before, and he doesn't want to keep learning them, but at the same time, he knows that he has a young group, and like you said, all the other coaches are saying that they're a quality team. They just have to gain that experience. So hopefully we'll see what they have this game. Like I said, that's why I think that weekend off was so big for them, because it gives them a chance to regroup and really evaluate the first half of their season.
And it's kind of who will take that spot, that 7th spot. Seems like it's a bit up for grabs at the moment. Miami FC maybe holding that down, but in the 11, it's been a tough run of form for them. Tulsa, are they going to make a move? Maybe this Loudoun side can surprise some people, as they have another corner kick coming.
They've been on the front foot. You know, there's no denying that they've been on the front foot, and when the Rowdies get a chance to counter, they're holding a solid back line so that they're drawing these guys offside. So, you know, so far, Loudoun's definitely been on the front foot of this one.
Another corner kick coming. It's the 2nd one so far for Loudoun. Michael Gamble standing over it. High lofted ball. Diarra trying to keep that in. Now it's Wyke. As Tampa Bay look to build out. Dos Santos, little touch around the corner.
Great
and
touch.
Here go the Rowdies. Holding play up now, trying to cross that into the middle. It was blocked down by Hope Gund. And then Green is fouled. That little touch was something special.
Yeah, and the build-up out of the back, too. That was excellent by the Rowdies. The build-up out of the back, 1-2 around the pressure. They played out. Man, that was a nice touch. Would have liked to see more out of that, but that was an excellent build-up, and they did a great job playing out of pressure.
Their long ball over the top. Trying to take the top off this defense here. Cochran under some pressure, gets rid of that.
I think Coach Collins would have liked if Cochran would have switched the pressure out of there. A lot of the play has been down the Rowdies' right side. If you could take that touch, open the game up a little bit, and come out of pressure, you might be able to settle on the ball a little bit. There we go.
There's Armin for Guenzati, right back for Jake Armin, who continues his run, cuts it back, dancing on the ball, able to keep it. Now it's Wyke. Long switch of play. That's just bouncing out of play. The idea was there, execution not quite.
Unlucky, but you see how much space there is when they switch the field. Getting off that right side, I think, was important there.
Mike just trying to make something happen there.
If nothing else, there was some fancy footwork involved.
There was, sure was, from Jake Armin. Seen some good skill already showcased in this one. Trying to touch that infield. It'll be another foul and a free kick for Loudoun. Enki Zeal stepping up from that center back position. Here's Lillard. Leyland just lofting this up over the top, pretty easy there for CJ Cochran. A big early save out of Cochran. Other than that, chances have been few and far between on both sides. A couple of corner kicks for Loudoun United. This Loudoun team not always the easiest team to play against.
No, you could tell they're good on the ball. It's just what everybody was telling us before the pregame. You could tell that they're really good on the ball. They seem disciplined right now. We talked about maybe later in the game they start to open up a little bit, but they're back. Another offsides. That's because they're holding a solid back line. You know, they're not letting these balls, they're not letting these guys run behind them. They're in a solid back line. They're holding a line. So far, it's been very solid from Loudoun.
Maybe a little bit of frustration from Tampa Bay, at least in these opening 15 minutes. They're used to scoring quite a few goals. They've scored multiple goals in 9 out of their 10 wins. The only win they didn't score multiple goals was the 1-0 win against Lou City. I think they'll take a win against Lou City, however they can get it though.
I have to imagine that's part of the game plan too, right? You want to frustrate a team like the Rowdies, especially when you're playing on your home field if you're Loudoun. You want to frustrate the Rowdies and you want to make them get a little bit impatient so you may be able to catch them sleeping or stretched out a little bit.
And Loudoun able to force that turnover. CJ Cochran getting nervously close to that goal line.
Yeah, I don't know how much he probably wanted that ball. I never liked getting the ball when I was hanging out on my goal line.
One bad touch, right?
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Downs go all the way back to Zamudio. Robinson has touched out a play. It'll be a throw-in though to Tampa Bay.
They chose the right time to press there. That was great pressure by the Rowdies. You could tell that, you know, they pressured the center back on that back pass and then made life a little bit difficult, and now they're in this dangerous situation with the free kick. Great pressure, great timing. That was well done. Ooh, here we go.
So Santos and Gamble exchanging some words.
Here we go.
It's early on, a little get to know you, you know.
I love it. Let's get this game up. Let's get a little energy going.
Well, that answers our question about Tampa Bay, right? Bringing the energy. They're not afraid.
Sometimes that's what you need. A little dust up to get the juices flowing. Just a little gamesmanship, nothing wrong with that.
Lewis Hilton always dangerous over a dead ball, and he, of course, is standing over this one. Two goals, 4 assists so far for the Englishman. Hilton ready. Good ball whipped into that back post area, but headed clear. Dalgard gets it out wide. Guenzati just able to keep this in play. Guenzati cutting in, fending off a couple of white shirts until Leyland is able to win it back. Some time on the ball here for the Rowdies. Cross coming in, just eludes the option there at the top of the area. That was Guenzati.
That's a great ball. Very dangerous place to put it. Great, great service there.
That'll be the first corner kick of the match for Tampa Bay. Hilton, the in-swinger, puts it in a great spot again. And good set-piece defending there from Loudoun United. Gamble trying to hold this up as they look to play out. They eventually find that outlet pass, and here comes Loudoun United. Zadliati leading the charge all by himself. Tried to play it out wide for Diarra. The Rowdies able to get bodies right around the ball. It seems at times this game getting very, very transitional. Loudoun nearly getting out on the counter there.
I thought the Rowdies did a good job transitionally defending there. Those are the worst moments when you play a good service in, you think you're going to get good pressure off of a set piece, and then the next thing you know, you look up and they're running at your center backs. It's always a difficult position to be in, but I thought the center backs did a great job of kind of slowing down play a little bit, letting their teammates get back so they can win the ball, and making life a little bit difficult for the man out in transition for Loudoun.
Of course, this is a Loudoun side that had a pretty good start to their regular season. They were unbeaten in their first 3. Then they lost 8 in a row. They went 10 winless overall. These last few home games have actually been pretty kind to them. Of course, that big 4-3 victory over Phoenix Rising, I think one that surprised quite a few people around the league, but they have held it tight with quite a few solid teams this year, and through 20 minutes, they're doing the same here against the Rowdies.
You can tell the Rowdies are starting to settle in this game a little bit more, though. They're starting to step up a little bit in their pressure, making life a little bit more difficult for those guys in the back line for Loudoun, making them play direct, and their center backs are ready to win the ball. You can tell that the Rowdies are starting to settle in a little bit more. Now is the point in the game, right, where the coach talked about, can Loudoun weather this storm?
Here's Gwenzati. Leo Hope Gunn coming over defensively. Only can concede a corner kick for the Rowdies once again. There's Ryan Martin.
They're not going to want to keep giving up this many set pieces. This is dangerous balls that are coming in. You can only give up so many of these in a game before you get punished.
And Lewis Hilton very good over these dead balls as we've seen so far. Hilton to deliver, again puts it in a very dangerous spot on the volley. This one lofted well out of play.
Great defending there to win that header. Great defending there to win that header. If you're the Rowdies, you want to see more people in those dangerous spots. The service is there. Free header for the center back, he does a good job. If you're the Rowdies, you got to get more people in that spot because the service has been fantastic.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. Wyke trying to switch the point of attack, and they airmailed that ball looking for Van Keazeel.
Yeah, he had the right idea, though. That's definitely the right idea. Playing out of pressure, switching the field of attack. I think that might be how they're going to get after this Loudoun team. Really keep them moving, move them side to side. Unfortunately, the ball didn't come off, but that's definitely the right idea.
It's turned over. It's Dos Santos trying to win this back. Wyke feeds it out wide. Gwenzati tried to go for the curler and it was blocked down. And now it turns into another transitional opportunity for Loudoun. Leyland trying to bring this with them. Still coming forward. The cross into the middle. Diving header. And not quite enough power on that one to end up beating CJ Cochran.
What an individual effort there by Leyland. He's done a great job of holding play up a little bit. Here he fights off 2 or 3 defenders, makes something happen, creates a dangerous situation. What an individual effort. You'd like to see better with the header. Of course, the diving headers are always tough. I never had many in my day, but I have to imagine they're pretty hard to get behind. But that's a great individual effort to make that happen. He took on 2 or 3 guys there.
You never got sent up into the mix on a corner kick?
I had a couple. I was always a fish out of water, though. I got my head onto once, but it went so far out of bounds that I wasn't.
Coach said no more.
No, my eyes got super big, but the result wasn't really that great.
Goalkeeper goals are always kind of like a unicorn, right?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be up there because it means that you're losing. But at the same time, going up there was always a little bit of fun just because I just always tried to go in there and create mayhem.
Yep, that's exactly right. Here's Antley. Now for Wyke. Get all the way out to that right side, and this pass back into that space is intercepted. Liati looking for options. Liati, who's made a few appearances so far this year with DC United. He's fouled here.
Not a huge fan of that foul. Rowdies had so many numbers behind the ball. They seemed like they were going to be on the front foot again. Not a huge fan of that one. I understand what he was doing, trying to slow the play down a little bit, but the Rowdies had so many numbers behind the ball that I think they would have been all right.
We asked Neil Collins this week about this unbeaten streak they're on. Unbeaten over their last 9 games, 7-0-2, and asked him, is there one thing that's really stood out? He said it's not really just the one thing. He said there wasn't really an awful lot wrong before, but just they weren't getting those lucky breaks. They might get one here. Dos Santos forces a save out of Zamudio.
The Rowdies' chances are coming off of this pressure. You can see Loudoun in the back line is getting a little bit careless with the ball. They're not recognizing where the pressure's coming from and what time the Rowdies are starting to step. You see that they're starting to pressure a little bit higher. They're winning the balls off of turnovers, and like you said, they're getting them out in transition a little bit. So if you're Loudoun, you got to be a little bit more clean on the ball in the back, or if you're not going to be clean on the ball, you just got to get the ball out of the danger spots, lump it forward to your target forward, let him hold the play up a little bit. He's been drawing fouls, but they have to recognize that the Rowdies are stepping up a little bit because this is where all their problems have been.
Loudoun with both of their shots so far in this game on target. That was, though, the first Rowdies shot on target. Ian under some pressure. Diarra applying more pressure there on Cochran, who sweeps his foot through it. Santos can be that hold-up striker this time, though. Enough for a foul as Vom Steeg is down.
What's the call here? Did he get his elbow up?
Neil Collins doesn't like that one.
I thought it looked like great hold-up play off the live feed. Yeah, 50-50. Could go either way.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Anytime, though, the hand goes up near that head or neck area, referee obliged to call it.
Yeah, and if you didn't get him, then the Loudoun player did a good job selling it, which that's part of the game as well.
This is true. Diarra got crunched there, and there will be a stoppage here. Guillen is writhing in pain. Diarra looks like holding the side of his face.
He is such a
really nowhere for Diarra to go in that situation.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little nudge in the back, which sent him into the, sent him right into the body of him. That's a tough knock. Doesn't feel good for anybody.
Ryan Martin talking things over with Azad Liati. Trying to get things started in that attack once again for the home side.
So far, I think this game has been pretty much as advertised, though. You know, the Rowdies are stepping up their pressure a little bit. They know that Loudoun's going to make some mistakes on the ball. That's something that everybody's been talking about. And when they do, the Rowdies are trying to capitalize on that. And if you're Loudoun, I think that they've actually done a good job of trying to catch the Rowdies in a little bit of transition. And, you know, I think that the energy's been there. That's something that we talked about before the game. I don't think that Loudoun has been intimidated at all by the Rowdies. And, you know, I think so far it's And besides the scoreline being 0-0, you know, I actually think it's been a pretty solid back and forth game where both teams are going to get their chances on the ball and both teams are having their, you know, their good spells. But so far, I think the game's been pretty much as advertised.
Well, Ryan Martin said about the Rowdies, we're not going to back down. We want to limit those special players that they have, but says we're going full guns a-blazing. We've seen that so far. We haven't really called Leo Fernandez's name too much thus far.
Yeah, the Rowdies haven't really had that opportunity to get behind yet. I think that their most dangerous chances have been coming off of those set pieces. Of course, they want to get some runners on the end of those balls, but you know, if you're looking at the Rowdies, I think most of their wins have come off of turnovers, but they're still doing a good job of not letting them get behind.
It'll be a drop ball to put this back into play. The referee tonight, Asad Omanovic. Again, now for Jake Arman. Trying to cut that in field. It was off the mark. Arman trying to play out. Diarra just keeping that alive. Some space to work centrally now. White able to take that away. Leyland stepped in, down stepped in. And now eventually a foul called. Here's Van Keaziel.
I talked about it already, but if this is Rowdies, this is what you got to keep doing. Keep them moving side to side when they're in their block. Keep them moving side to side. Wait for someone to get impatient to step out of their block, and then that's when you get them with the killer ball.
So many playmakers. That's one of them with Leo Fernandez. Here's Hilton. We'll give and go. Arman for Wyke. Fernandez couldn't get there. Gamble trying to play out. And that pass off the mark.
I've been impressed with the Rowdies' transitional defending. You know, I thought the first 10 minutes that Loudoun had them a little bit, that they were a little bit stretched, but now every time the ball turns over, you can tell that they're reacting very quick and they're getting right behind the ball. So even when Loudoun breaks out, when they're able to break out of that pressure, the Rowdies had them outnumbered every single time, which makes it really challenging if you're an attacker for Loudoun. You look up and you see a bunch of those neon shirts. It's never a good feeling.
And Diarra has really been that only outlet man for Loudoun thus far. Here's Arman shaping the cross in. Too tall for Dos Santos, so able to keep this in. Wyke brings it down. He'll take a shot on from a tough angle. May have been a cross. Now it's cut towards the top of the area. That's a challenge that'll end the threat. Van Keaziel came sliding in.
Dangerous crosses in, right? We've talked about it. They're getting dangerous looks. They're getting dangerous crosses in. I think if you're the Rowdies, you'd like to have a couple more people in the box to make something get on the end of these crosses, but so far that's where their success has been coming. They're putting dangerous crosses in the box. They got to get people on the end of them.
Back for Zamudio, and he'll distribute.
Great pressure there.
And it's Lawrence Wyke. He's able to turn the corner, lifts in the cross. Nobody making that back post run. Armin went to ground. Referee says play on, and the Rowdies will do just that. Into space for Armin, deflected cross, and taken by Zamudio.
Well done there by Zamudio. Those are always tough balls as goalkeepers, the ones that take deflections, the ones that are slowly bouncing in the box. You're always just waiting for someone to come and get on the end of that and smash it, so he was able to get there before Rowdies player, which was well done. But once again, another opportunity for the Rowdies is coming off that sustained pressure. Loudoun has the ball in their back. When they're moving the ball around the back, the Rowdies wait for that negative ball and they're jumping on it. Great pressure there from the Rowdies to create another dangerous chance.
Yeah, there's no doubt in watching some film, I'm sure Neil Collins, the coaching staff, picked just that out, and they have tried to exploit it tonight.
The hard part is getting that right and making sure everybody's on the same page, but I think the Rowdies have done a good job of that so far.
Is there like a call, or is it just kind of you see something and react?
Usually it's dictated by the 9. Once they start going after the negative ball, then you know that the rest of the team should be following suit, because the worst thing that you want to do is have your 9 chasing around a ball that's just kind of by himself up there. So usually if your 9 goes, that's when the rest of the team knows this is time to go. But the usual cues are a negative ball, or if somebody takes a bad touch or something like that.
This is a very experienced Tampa Bay Rowdies side. A lot of these players have been with the club multiple years, but Neil Collins has said now they're kind of at that point in the season where some of the newer guys are fully up to speed. And you can really see it in their play and in terms of their performances as of late.
This is a really important 10 minutes for Loudoun. The Rowdies seem to get control of the ball a little bit more. It's the last 10 minutes of the half. Are they going to be able to ride this thing out and get into halftime?
This ball bouncing in, trying to take this on the turn,
no.
And he took that square on the face.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, that was point blank range. Looked like that was Grant Lillard there defensively.
Man, you hope he's all right after something like that. Nope, he seems to be okay. Man, he took that thing right off the face. That hurts. Great idea from Dos Santos, though. I love the creativity. I mean, if this comes off, he's on SportsCenter.
Lillard wearing that one. His first season with Loudoun United for Grant Lillard. He's made 12 MLS appearances coming into this year, mostly with the Chicago Fire. He did spend some time with Columbus and Inter Miami. And his college soccer at Indiana. He's got a smile on his face.
These center backs, man, they live for stuff like this, though. That was a tricky idea from Dos Santos. That would have been something pretty special if it came off. Love the creativity there.
He has just 1 goal this year, Dos Santos. Scored 15 over a 2-year stretch with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Neil Collins not pleased about something. It'll be interesting to see how they restart this. It does look like it'll be a drop ball. That's exactly what it will be. Game in which we probably thought we'd get a few goals in. Just the way Loudoun has been conceding them, the way they've been also scoring them over these last few games, especially at home. And the Rowdies, they've mostly just done the scoring of the goals over these last few games. When Zadi shoulder to shoulder with Hope Gund. Eventually a whistle. I think based on the reaction, it's a free kick to Tampa Bay.
A little arm pull there. I thought that was good back and forth. Another one that can kind of go either way, but I like the defending there. I thought he did a good job of keeping his back turned and making it hard for him. But now they're in this dangerous situation again. Let's see if the Rowdies can get on the end of it. You know the service is going to be solid.
Hilton has been very good over set pieces so far tonight. About 5 minutes to go until halftime. Rowdies trying to get their noses out in front. The in-swinger, and again this cleared away. Those center backs have been busy on set pieces for Loudoun. Now Lawrence Wyke trying to fire that across the 6-yard box. Second ball blocked down as well. Armin on the turn, some space opening up, he'll take the shot. Took a deflection and out for a corner kick.
Man, another great ball in. Another dangerous ball. Loudoun center backs have definitely got their work cut out for him tonight with this service.
Again, it's Lewis Hilton coming over to take the corner kick. Third corner kick of the match thus far for Tampa Bay. Hilton service, again headed clear. Long spell for Tampa Bay with the ball. Loudoun doing quite a bit of chasing here. Here's Armin. Flipping this forward. Trying to nod that down for Dos Santos. And this one's blocked and deflected out of play. Another corner kick for Tampa Bay. The buildup has been very good.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? That was some great last-ditch defending by Loudoun, but the Rowdies are definitely settling into this game. If you're Loudoun right now, you're trying to see it out to halftime. Not sure if Fernandez was trying that layoff, but it came off right, and some great last-ditch defending there on that block shot.
This one they'll take in short. Armin back for Hilton. Now he'll fire it in. And the clearing header only as far as Van Zeal. Finally Loudoun able to get this out, but only as far as Antley this time. Wyke. Cross block down.
It was a good job by Leland to get something out of that. He definitely looked up and didn't see any white shirts around him, so to be able to get a throw in and kind of slow this game down. You know, I think right now if you're Loudoun, you're just trying to get into half. The Rowdies have sustained pressure in their half of the field. You know, they're totally on the front foot. That was a good job to get a little something, slow the game down a little bit, get possession of the ball, catch your breath. Try to get the Rowdies on the heels just a little bit to end this half.
You see the shots, both those shots for Loudoun coming in the opening stages of this one. Forcing actually a very good save out of CJ Cochran and has kept this game scoreless.
Yeah, of all the sustained pressure the Rowdies had the last 20 minutes, I think that Loudoun's had the best chance, and that came very early. That's where that save early on was so important.
Antley there to cut it out. Now Lillard for Gamble. Nicky Downs. And now here come the Rowdies once again. Dos Santos finds Armin again on this near side. Slips it ahead. It's Guenzati. Sebastian Guenzati couldn't get the power on the shot he was looking for. Another save for Luis Zamunio.
I think those are the situations that Loudoun is trying to avoid, right? The Rowdies get the ball in transition. They look up. Loudoun stretched out because they're in the attacking half, and they almost catch him on the counter here. Loudoun does a good job of latch-stitch defending, but these are the situations, if you're Loudoun, that you're trying to avoid because the Rowdies are so good on the counter and they're so good in the attack. You want to get in your block and you want to make the Rowdies have to break you down. If they're going to catch you on the counter, if you're going to give them chances like that, then eventually the ball is going to hit the back of the net.
The playoff battles begin to heat up as two playoff hopefuls meet on ESPN Deportes. RGV welcomes in Las Vegas Lights to Southern Texas. That's tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. And of course, don't forget about the USL Summer Showcase with Lou City hosting Phoenix Rising. That'll be on Wednesday night. And that'll be another good one, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. There's something in this first half for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Seems like they'd be the more likely of the two sides to score, at least at this point. It's 4 minutes of additional time added on. They'll have another free kick, the Rowdies will, on that far side.
This is a big moment. This is where you don't want to give up goals if you're Loudoun. Right before the half, you've done a good job of weathering the storm. They get a dangerous set piece in extra time in the first half. This is a dangerous position to be in if you're Loudoun. They got to really lock in. You talk about losing focus for a little bit or losing moments in the game if you're Loudoun. This is a moment where you really got to focus and you got to lock in.
Jake Arman, who's gone over to that far side to take this free kick. Lifted into the back post, and again, Zamudia was there to make the catch.
Well done there by Zamudia. Good timing on the cross. Slowed the play down a little bit. That was well done. Another dangerous ball, though, by the Rowdies. Eventually they're going to get on the end of one of these.
Here comes Loudoun United now, with Gamble searching for space in field. Hope gunned. Is touched ahead, looking for Diarra, but the flag up for offside. Well, back to Tampa here with 2 minutes to go in this first half.
I've been really impressed with Leland's hold-up play. I think he's done a really good job of making the Rowdies work, making their center backs knock him around a little bit, and getting something out of nothing. Every time he gets the ball, he looks up and he doesn't really see many white shirts, but every time he does it, he's able to create something a little bit dangerously or at least slow the play down a little bit so that the rest of his team can get up the field.
There's Guillen. Now Arman. Fernandez looking for space, and he moves it out wide. Dalgard the cross, the header. It's the clearing header, but it comes back centrally again for Wyke. Lays it off for Arman, who tries to cut it back, and again deflected away. Bit of frustration there from Jake Arman after the play. Last chance in this half, though, might come for Loudoun United. And look at all that space on the far side. Diarra brings it down. Still coming forward, that last touch lets him down.
They had it, they had it. They had the Rowdies out in transition. The Rowdy center back steps up, creates that first play, puts Loudoun on their back foot. He's not able to get back. Creates a ton of space for Loudoun in transition because the Rowdies weren't able to get on the end of that attack. You would have liked to see better on both ends there. I think from either coach, they would have liked to see a little bit better production in the box there. Both good looks on either end. Nice little back and forth action to end the half.
Setting up for a pretty good second half as We have no goals to speak of through 45 minutes of play. Loudoun United, Tampa Bay Rowdies scoreless after 45 minutes. Dos Santos has had some opportunities, Loudoun United as well, but this game's still very much there for the taking.
Yeah, I think, this game is kind of as advertised. You think that the Rowdies have been capitalizing on Loudoun's mistakes. And I think that the Rowdies, kind of like Neil Collins talked about before, the time that they get into trouble is when they are a little bit stressed or stretched out. And, so far this game has been pretty much as advertised. Obviously, we'd like to see a couple goals, but I think that as the guys get a little bit more tired and as the game starts to open up a little bit, you're going to see a lot more chances on both sides.
So we have hit halftime here from Segra Field in Leesburg, Virginia. Loudoun United, they might be in 12th place, but don't tell them that. They are hanging right in this game against one of the top teams in the East in the Tampa Bay Rowdies. No score at halftime. Stay with us here on ESPN+.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Back here, halftime from Segra Field. No score between Loudoun United and the Tampa Bay Rowdies through 45 minutes. Well, coming into this week, Loudoun United had a week off, so that allowed Ryan Martin he got married during the week. So congratulations to Ryan Martin and his wife. Got married up on the East Coast, so that's what he was up to while the players were getting some rest, and now Ryan Martin able to tie the knot, so congratulations to the new Martin family. Very, very exciting. As we get into our player spotlight for this evening's game, Luis Zamudio, a Las Vegas native, started his playing career in Liga MX's Club America Youth Academy for 4 seasons. His performances earned him a promotion to the first team in July of 2019. The 6'3" goalkeeper spent the 2020 season with North Texas. Zamudio then joined Fort Lauderdale CF ahead of last season in USL League One. Zamudio's highlight of the season came in Week 9, where he was named the Team of the Week after his 8-save performance against North Carolina. On July 7th, Miami FC added Zamudio on loan from Fort Lauderdale for the remainder of the championship season. And he loves his mom's enchiladas, as you have to love your mom's enchiladas, as he is a fan of Kobe Bryant as well. Well, one of the top players in the USL Championship at the moment is Leo Fernandez. He was June's Player of the Month.
Ball fired ahead, Fernandez. He's been scintillating. Oh, what a finish! Leo Fernandez, man on fire. Here's Fernandez. Leo let it go. Goal!
Leo Fernandez trying to get things going in that second half for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Halftime here from Segra Field. No score between Loudoun United and Tampa Bay. Second half is coming up.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
Tucked in, locked in, Louisville level. An exclamation point, and this boy can't stop scoring.
On cue, levels it for Louisville. And it's all turning up goals. The audacity! Early fireworks in Wild Horse Pass. Halftime from Segra Field. Loudoun United, Tampa Bay Rowdies, no score. Chance for the little ones to get out there here at halftime at Segra Field as we take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship, right around the midway point of this regular season. And as we look at these news and notes, some new teams coming to the league. USL New Orleans in 2025, Santa Barbara in 2024. But how about Sacramento Republic taking on Kansas City this upcoming week? That's going to be very big for this league.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see when the lower divisions make a run, and you know, for Sacramento to get to this point, they are got to be all in. They got to be fired up. Kansas City loves the Open Cup as well, so I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that game. It's going to be very exciting, and you know, it's going to be fun to see how these two teams match up.
Kansas City's second straight game against a USL foe. Remember, they took down Union Omaha 6-0. Look at the schedule, or pardon me, the scoreboard around the league. Some interesting fixtures tonight. Lou City, I know a team that everybody is trying to chase right now.
Yeah, it looks like a night of ties so far. That nice little night of ties we have in our hands. But, you know, as these games go on, as it starts to open up a little bit, I'm sure the goals will start flying.
And Orange County, Miami FC, an interesting one out west tonight. Little East versus West battle there. As for what is to come on the ESPN schedule, there are some tasty fixtures upcoming and a couple within the next week, with RGV hosting Las Vegas Lights, Lou City against Phoenix Rising, and then we wait until September again when Sacramento Republic, they could be potentially coming off a U.S. Open Cup final if they're able to get by SKC. They'll host Orange County on September 18th, and then Lou City and Memphis, who are going at it so far tonight. There is no score in that one. So it is halftime here from Segra Field. No score between Loudoun United and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Let's see if we get some goals in the second half. Second 45 minutes is on the other side.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
Players starting to trickle out of the locker room as we get set for the second 45 minutes. Still no score between Loudoun United and the Tampa Bay Rowdies here at halftime, as it's time to take a look at our first half highlights. No goals to show you, but still some interesting chances. It started out early on for Loudoun United, and Diarra was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, big save here by Cochran. He does a good job. This is, if you're Loudoun, you're looking to score early in a game like this. You're looking to catch the Rowdies on their heels a little bit to start the game, but Cochran does a good job of eliminating that chance and making sure they stay off the scoreboard.
Leyland with some good opportunities as well for this Loudoun side, and just trying to get some opportunities going. They've been working Cochran at least early on.
Yeah, definitely. You know, on this one, I think he might have been able, if he stayed up on his feet a little bit. He went with the diving header, which he probably wasn't able to get enough power behind it. But again, you know, Leyland's been dangerous, holding up the ball and creating something out of nothing for him.
And then there was that pressure shown by Tampa Bay. It nearly turned in to a Steven Dos Santos goal there.
Yeah, a little far out for that shot. I think he would have liked to do a little bit better with it, maybe a little bit more power, find a corner. But, you know, the chances that the Rowdies are getting are coming off this sustained pressure, and they've done a good job of turning them over in the back.
And the chances would keep on coming. This time Zamudio able to hold on to it, but it felt like something was starting to come here for Tampa Bay at the end of the half.
Yeah, the last 10, I felt like the Rowdies really did a good job of taking over the game. But, you know, in that last final minute there, both teams had good looks and good opportunities. So, you know, I'm expecting to see a good second half, see if the Rowdies can control the ball a little bit more. But if you're Loudoun, stay in discipline. It's the key to the game. And, you know, we'll see how they're able to do that in this next 45.
And most of those shots for Loudoun coming in the opening part of that first half. Tampa Bay building into the game very nicely as we get set for the second 45 minutes. A couple of subs to tell you about. The first one is Deon Harris coming onto the field for Tampa Bay.
Once again, soccer fans from across the DMV and the USL Special Orders Club, the Stampede. It's time to get up, get loud for our soccer ball softy talk.
So a couple of subs, Jake LaCava, Deon Harris, both coming on. And those are the two alterations here for Tampa Bay. Just waiting for this second half to get underway. With Jeff Atnella, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us here, starting off this Saturday in the USL Championship.
couple early subs here from Collins. Be interesting to see, you know, what he saw in that first half that made him make these early changes, or maybe he's trying to get on a little bit more on the front foot.
And there's the whistle of a false start there from Loudoun.
5 yards.
Yeah. And still a false start.
10 yards.
There we go. Now we go. 45 more minutes to go. We'll see if we get a goal in this second 45 minutes. Tampa Bay, as we mentioned, putting some good pressure on as that first half came to a close, and already they're on the front foot here to start the second half.
Tampa Bay substitution at the start of the second half.
There were a couple of substitutions, as we told you about, with LaCava and Harris coming on. It was Guenzati and Jake Arman who made way. And here is Neon Harris coming forward, trying to play that infield for Fernandez, but it's Jake LaCava's 9 goals, 2 assists that come onto the field. Loanee from New York Red Bulls. Really fit in nicely with this Tampa Bay side as Azad Liati is racing forward. Liati coming into the area. A good challenge there by Antley. Those are Segra substitutions there with Harris and LaCava coming on. Neil Collins, a lot of positive things to say about Jake LaCava. Now here's Lawrence Wyke. For Harris, shaping the cross in, chested back. Oh boy, that was risky business, but Rio Hope Gunn and Luis Zamudio get that just right.
That's a great ball in by Harris too, coming off the bench, first trying to make an immediate impact in the game. You can tell that these subs are about getting a goal, right? You can tell that LaCava coming on at halftime, Harris coming in, putting in a dangerous cross. Coach Neil Collins is trying to get a goal, and he's trying to get it pretty quick with these early subs, and immediately they're already showing their results on the field.
Here's Van Keaziel.
Good ball.
Plays this off for Leo Fernandez. Fernandez dancing on it. Still Fernandez, now to the top of the area for Hilton. Wanted to get it on that right foot. Instead he moves it out wide for Harris. Give and go, Harris. Looks like it'll be a corner kick for Tampa Bay.
Great entry ball to start that little spell of possession there. Dos Santos does a good job laying it off, but that's a great entry ball. Puts Loudoun immediately on their heels.
Again, this will be Lewis Hilton standing over this corner kick. He'll play it in short. Now they leave it for Hilton. Trying to cross that in, it was cleared away.
Oh, that's straight off the training ground. Straight off the training ground. They had it drawn up nicely. Would have liked to see a better result, but I think the execution was pretty spot on.
And nearly coming off for Tampa Bay. And Loudoun just trying to get out here. They had that one opportunity in transition in this second half, but so far they've been doing a lot of defending in their own half. They'll have more of it here. Wyke playing this through. The angle was cut off and Zamudio stepped up.
I realize that Loudoun wants to build out of the back, and they're very persistent in the way that they're trying to play. But sometimes the game just calls for the goalie to put his foot on the ball, step the group up, and give yourself a little bit of chance to maybe win the ball in their half so you can get a little bit more sustained possession up the field. It's tough for the defenders when you turn the ball over immediately and you're always playing on your heels.
As you mentioned, Tampa Bay have been picking those moments when to press, and they've been giving some trouble to this Loudoun side.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think it's very important for Loudoun. They can't get stretched. If they're going to play this way and they're going to play in their block, they have to have the Rowdies break them down. The passing has to break them down. They can't get caught out of spots. And if you're the Rowdies, the key right now is to stay as patient as possible. It's very frustrating when you're playing against a team that's just sitting in a block like this, but you have to be patient on the ball, move it side to side, wait for those openings, wait for them to come out of their block a little bit, and that way you're able to get a dangerous penetrating ball in. And if you're Loudoun, you're waiting for them to get impatient and catch them on a counter.
Here's Fernandez. Gonna squeeze that through a very narrow spot, and it's taken by Zamudio once again. Seems like Tampa Bay's getting themselves in good positions, but once they do, they're not able to find that finish at the moment.
Yeah, they're having a hard time getting behind, but that's because Loudoun's just sitting in this block. It's very challenging to break a team down when somebody sits back like this.
Leyland on the turn. That was a good one. Now trying to play this through, and just too close there. CJ Cochran and Jacob Green making the run down the near side.
Good job by Cochran reading that and cutting that off, but again, it's Leyland making something happen, being dangerous when he gets the hold-up play.
Leyland has Diarra out wide. He'll keep it moving. Here's Grant Lillard. All the way back for Zamudio again as Loudoun looked to build out, trying to get something started in this one.
That's a great ball by Zamudio.
Pick out the pass. Now Leyland looking to play it in behind. Diarra's in. It's blocked down. Last-ditch defending there from Tampa Bay, and a player down. The man who made that block in Connor Antley is holding that ankle.
Great effort to get the block shot. Unfortunate that he caught a little knock like this, but that initial pressure, that initial play comes off of the ball from Zamudio, because you could tell that one of the cues for the Rowdies is to press when the goalkeeper gets the ball. And if that's a cue, you need your goalie to be able to find the targets. He does a great job of finding the targets. He catches the Rowdies stretched, and that's when Loudoun is able to get after the Rowdies a little bit, when they're stretched out and they're out of that block. You could tell that might have been an adjustment at halftime. And if Zamudio could play those balls, those are dangerous balls. They're going to break down the Rowdies' pressure. That's a great ball out.
And Antley is in quite a bit of pain here. Being checked on by the training staff. They might need to make an alteration here as Antley still down. His brother, Ian, is on the bench. His brother has battled major injury issues, but now finally healthy and signed to that short-term contract by the Rowdies. Connor, former USL League One Defender of the Year with Tormenta. Another look at this here.
Tough to tell on the highlight. Must just caught him in the right spot.
Or the wrong spot.
Or the wrong spot.
He's getting back to his feet, helped by teammates there. And he is being helped off the field. Sebastian Dahlgaard, and of course the trainer there as well. Does not look like he will be able to continue tonight. There's a block that had to be made, though, and he went back and made it. He paid the price for it, unfortunately, for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was a great individual effort to block that shot. Hate to see it ended like this, but
Will indeed be a substitution. It's Jan Ekra who will be coming on. And the players in the USL with the most appearances in the entire league, trying to chase down Dane Kelly at the moment, who now leads the USL in overall appearances. But Ekra, born in Paris, will be coming on. That is a Segra substitution. Ekra in his 4th season with Tampa Bay. And there will also be a substitution coming for Loudoun United. That is Tyler Freeman coming on. His 1st season with Loudoun. Coming over from Sporting Kansas City 2, has scored 4 goals this year. That's another Segra substitution, and the first one of the game for Loudoun United. Some fresh legs again out there now for both teams after those 2 halftime subs as well for Tampa Bay. Ekra getting tangled up. It'll be a free kick. Gonna play this infield quickly. Right back for Fernandez. Fernandez looking for space, sends the cross away. It's headed clear. Ekra brings it down. Moves it off to the far side. Now it's lofted into the back post. Again headed clear. Lillard there defensively. As far as Deon Harris now. Wyke rolls it in. It's flicked along, but too close to Zamudio.
it's another good entry ball. I think he would have liked to do a little bit better with that at the end, but another good entry ball. Getting in between the defense, trying to make something happen. I like what I've seen out of Harris since coming off the bench. He's brought a ton of energy to this game, which is exactly what you're looking for out of your subs. Oh, good pressure.
Turned over again, but a whistle will end that threat. Lewis Hilton can't believe it. Hilton thought he got that clean by those pictures. He might have.
Yeah, I think that he won that cleanly. I'm not sure what the ref saw on that one, but you know, sometimes that's just how the game goes. You got to go with what the ref calls, and I think based off his reaction, he felt like he got all ball, and based off the replay, it looks pretty similar.
Tampa just trying to keep up this intensity. Eventually, I feel like with all this momentum, they'll be able to break through, but Loudoun's been a tough nut to crack tonight.
Yeah, they just gotta stay patient. I know I keep saying it, but when a team's in a block like this, you have to stay patient, and you gotta wait for them to open up. Switch the field of play, pop in, pop out, make the defenders chase a little bit, and that's when you're gonna find the gaps. Keep the ball moving.
sure with how this is playing out, if Loudoun can find that one counter-attacking opportunity, and it might be all it takes. Played in for Dos Santos and now quickly cleared away. Maybe this is the opportunity for Loudoun. Freeman just onto the field. Trying to cut it in. Eventually was dispossessed all the way back to Cochran. Not a ton for CJ Cochran to do so far in this second half. In a game like this, is it hard to stay locked in?
A little bit. You know, you want to try to talk to your defenders. That's what I used to do. If the game was a little bit of a slow pace or I'm not seeing much action, I would always make a point to just talk to my defenders more than I normally would, because it was a way for me to stay engaged in the game. The hardest part is when you gotta be switched on at any turnover, right? So I'm sure CJ Cochran's back there kind of talking to himself about staying ready, because you know that he's going to have another moment. When you're cold like this a little bit, it could be a little bit challenging at times.
Meanwhile, Luis Zamudio's had plenty to manage here, and he'll have more to do as Jan Ekra has it for Tampa Bay. Now it's Wyke. Wyke puts his foot through it, and Zamudio makes a brilliant save.
Man, good save there. You could tell that ball was moving. Just off the reaction to the save, you could tell that ball was moving. That ball was knuckling a lot. Great contact on the ball, great save.
Just a little give and go there.
That ball was dancing all over the place. That's a good save.
And the ensuing corner went out of play. Freeman, Leyland making the run. Van Kayziel was there. Of course, a big week for the whole DC United organization, with Wayne Rooney coming in as the new head coach of DC United in MLS. We did ask Ryan Martin about it. He said, obviously, tremendous excitement. He did say him and I are maybe a bit more aligned in terms of how they want to go about things tactically. And one thing Wayne Rooney did tell him in one of their first conversations was he does put an emphasis on playing those young players, and right off the bat, it was Sami Guediri who was signed to the first team, and then Abdul Zane, who has been playing with Loudoun quite a bit, was basically taken from training and went to Minnesota with the first team. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you hate that type of thing for Loudoun, but if you're the player, you're very excited about it, and I'm sure these Loudoun guys are really excited to have a guy like Rooney in the building.
Freeman on the turn, just could not complete the move. It was silky buildup again there from Loudoun. And Freeman has been a bright spot since coming on.
This is what you want out of your substitutes, right? To make immediate impacts, to change the tempo of the game. I think Freeman's done that the same way Harris has done that for Tampa. He finds himself in a great spot here. He would have liked to do a little bit better on the end. Oh, great turn. He had everything going for him, and then he just goes with the outside of the foot. Tried to get a little bit too fancy at the end there, but a great turn and found himself in a great spot. You talk about Cochran not having much to do. From a goalkeeper standpoint, he does a great job of closing down that angle and making Freeman make a decision very early so that he wasn't able to get a good look at the goal.
Harris, little self pass, and it came off. Dayon Harris gets end line, squares this ball, it's in! Dayon Harris made it all happen! What a move there for the Tampa Bay Rowdies!
Right on cue, a substitute making an impact, two substitutes.
Jake LaCava puts in, it's 1-0 Rowdies.
Man, talking about going exactly to plan if you're Neil Collins. Harris comes in, he's been making a difference this entire half. Has that energy, gets down the line, plays a great ball in, easy tap in for the goal. But this is all Harris here. Look at this move, gets around the defender, drives to the line, does something with the cross. Here you go, take another goal, courtesy of my cross in. What a play. Well done by two substitutes, making an immediate impact in the game.
It was, in fact, the two halftime substitutes for Tampa Bay to link up on the goal. For Jake LaCava, that is goal number 10 on the season. That now leads the team. First into double digits, and a couple of subs coming for Loudoun United. It will be Isaac Espinal alongside Christian Fletcher to come on. A couple of 16-year-olds now onto the field for Loudoun United. Both of them have made 5 appearances each this season. And now, finally a goal to speak of.
Great individual effort there by Harris. And now how does Loudoun respond? Now that they're down a goal, they're going to have to come out of that block a little bit more. They're going to have to open themselves up. They're going to have to take a little bit more risks. Just what this game needed.
Azad Liadi, one of those players to come off, along with Skage Leyland. Those are Segra substitutions. Here's Freeman. He's been bright since coming on.
Oh, well done there.
Picks the pocket of Ekra. Freeman on his right foot, and this just wide. He's trying to take this game over himself.
Yeah, I mean, he has made an immediate impact. You can tell his energy. He's bringing the energy level to the field. He's getting after it. See if the rest of his team can kind of follow suit. Usually when a guy comes on the field like that and he's bringing this type of energy, everybody else is going to fall in line, especially now that you're chasing the game a little bit. See if everybody else on the team can ramp up their energy and start the pressure.
Again, this turned over.
And if you're the Rowdies, this is where you can't get sloppy. We talked about this pregame.
Green immediately shut down. Lawrence White stepped in. Here comes Tampa Bay. This ball headed back. LaCava making the run. Zamudio got there just in time.
You could tell that ball checked up on the turf a little bit. That's a great outside of the football. I thought he was in. Sometimes when you play on turf, the ball takes weird bounces like that, and that ball checked up just the right way for Loudoun. If not, I think he was in there.
So now Loudoun really starting to press for that goal. Lofted forward for Green. Again, White stepped in. Nervy moment here at the back. Espinal latches onto it, the 16-year-old. But it's taken in the end by Cochran.
Van Kaziel does a great job of shielding him here. Makes it life easy for the goalie. Does a good job of getting his body in between the forward and the ball.
Here's Harris again, all the way across. There's a second. 2 assists for Dayon Harris, and Steven Dos Santos delivers for Tampa Bay. It's 2 quick goals, and the Rowdies lead 2-0.
What a difference Harris has made in this game. Immediately coming in off the bench. He had a cross in the first 2 minutes, and now he's kind of taking over this game on the right side, making life easy for these forwards. Nice little tap-ins. What a difference he has made to this game. All by himself on the right side, picks his head up, finds the perfect ball. Dos Santos sitting right in front of the net. All the time in the world. If you're Loudoun, where are your defenders? Somebody has to step and make his life difficult. Nothing Zamudio could do with that one. He had all day to pick his head up and find the forward. Nice little easy tap in.
Assist to number 21, Dayon Harris.
And Dayon Harris, who did not have an assist this season coming into play tonight, now has 2 in the space of about 3 minutes.
And if you're Loudoun, this is what we talked about pregame, right? You're young, you got to get this experience in. Both times that they've been scored on, it came off after they had great opportunities for themselves. So they miss an opportunity on their end attacking, and immediately the ball turns over and Rowdies end up putting the ball in the back of the net.
Hit over the top again, it's Green. Centering feed for Freeman, it was blocked down, he couldn't keep it in. As Tampa Bay gets this clear. Now Vom Stieg. Here's Gamble. Now Fletcher driving forward. Fletcher, his cross fizzled through. All the way across for Jalen Robinson. Lillard now for Gamble. 20 minutes to go. We should mention for Steven Dos Santos, just his second goal in the year, but he's been goal dangerous all night long. Espinal off his chest. Cuts it back very nicely for Fletcher. And this one saved, bobbled for a moment, but eventually saved. I think Fletcher lost his shin guard or something there in the process.
Man, well done by the 16-year-old. Gets on the end of the ball, sets his teammate up for a dangerous opportunity. Great touch here, very patient on the ball. Shields off the defender, great look. I think Fletcher would have liked to do a little bit better with that one, pick out a corner, but he gets a shot on target. A little nervy from Cochran, but he had it under control the whole way. Those are the types of things that happen when you haven't seen too much action in a game.
Probably got scared his shin guard was flying at him too.
The double save.
The double save. Here's Gamble.
Now, if you're the Rowdies, this is what Coach Collins was talking about. This is the time to see out the game, right? You want to have that complete 90 minutes. You want to keep the level high, and you want to just ride this game out and make life difficult for Loudoun. Can they keep possession of the ball? See this win out.
And there will be another sub. It'll be the end of the day for Steven Dos Santos. A goal to his name. It'll be Kyle Gregg coming on. The all-time leading goal scorers in USL Championship history, Kyle Gregg. His first season with Tampa Bay has scored twice and assisted once.
Kyle Gregg. All substitutions are brought to you by Segra.
That'll be enough to draw a foul. Just onto the field, Kyle Gregg. Here's Fernandez. Ekra. Plays this down the line. Good move again. LaCava plays it infield. Fernandez!
Oh, what a
top
finish.
corner! The June Player of the Month picking up right where he left off. Another goal for the Rowdies. It's 3 goals in quick succession, and they are running rampant here at Loudoun.
What a finish. You could tell Fernandez when he got that ball a couple minutes ago and started driving at the back line, he wasn't going to be happy not getting one for himself tonight. Finds himself in a great spot, picks his head up, probably can't realize that he's all alone. Picks out the top corner. What a finish. Great layoff too.
Tampa Bay Rowdies goal scored in the 74th minute by number
Man, good luck with that one. Pick it out of the corner. What a finish.
A big moment there for Tampa Bay, and Leo Fernandez, he said Jake LaCava get to 10 goals. He said, I'm not letting you get too far away there, kid.
Yeah, LaCava gave him the assist though. You know, I think he let him back in the race a little bit there by laying that pass off. Just a great finish though. And if you're Loudoun, at this point things are getting a little bit challenging. You're a young team. The Rowdies have kind of taken over control of the game. But you just can't give good players space like that in the box. It's happened on all 3 goals, not finding the dangerous man. These are all learning experiences for these young guys, but you just cannot give a player like that time in the box. He's going to punish you every time. Fernandez does a great job, shows you why he's one of the better players in this league, picks out the corner, and the Rowdies are off and running.
Entering the match, number 19.
So a couple of subs as well for Loudoun. Husso Landry and Hayden Sargis coming on, replacing Jacob Green and Grant Lillard. Those are two Segra substitutions. So Loudoun, they were really hanging in this game, and now all of a sudden it's buoyed up to a 3-0 lead for the Wayside. That's just how quickly the Rowdies can strike with this high-powered attack.
Yeah, we talked about this pregame. It was something that Loudoun's on the front foot. They get a couple good opportunities, and immediately, instead of picking up where they left off, the ball turns over, and the Rowdies are right down their throat. These are learning experiences that young guys need to learn, but if you're going to get good opportunities and they don't come through, you got to switch back on. You got to switch your mindset, and you got to be ready to turn the page. And the Rowdies are off and running again.
Here they go again, looking for Fernandez. Is there a brace? There is not. It is saved by Zamudio.
You can tell Fernandez wants another one. He's pressing. Here he goes again. Pressing high.
And they do win it back. Chance for Kyle Gregg.
Great save.
And it looked like Zamudio did get a hand to that. It is out for a corner kick, and Tampa Bay, they're just throwing everything they can right now.
Great save there. Near post, gets that hand up. Ball that's hit hard, well done. If you're Loudoun, you just got to be smarter with the ball. You're down 3-0. You don't want to make life harder on yourself. Sometimes you just got to step the group up, get the ball out of your own zone, live to see another day.
Harris, is there a hat trick of assists? Not here. Downs chases it in that corner. How about this for Leo Fernandez? He's contributed to goals now in his last 7 games in the USL Championship. That's 8 goals and an assist. And how about on the road, the last 4 away games, he scored 6 goals.
Wow.
On an impressive tear at the moment for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Now up to 10 goals and 4 assists. Here's Harris. It was a heavy touch.
I love that his goal came off of a LaCava assist, though. A lot of unselfishness in the box. You can tell that these guys are having fun scoring goals together. I'm sure in the locker room that they're talking about their race. They're having a little fun back and forth, but on the field they're helping each other out, scoring goals, celebrating together. Those are the types of things you love to see out of your two main goal scorers.
Dalgard trying to play that ahead for LaCava. It was just behind him as Sargis gets it away. Espinal, the youngster, sliding in from behind. How about the expected goals tonight for Tampa Bay? 1.89 to Loudoun United, 0.61. I think that's a pretty fair representation of what we've seen.
Yeah, I think that especially in the second half, the Rowdies have done a great job of, we talked about staying patient, and eventually when a team sits in a block like that, once you get that first goal, they have to open up a little bit. And that's exactly what we saw happen. They opened up once, and now the Rowdies have been able to take advantage of it. And at this point, the Rowdies are just having fun. They're pressing the ball in the back. They're winning the ball in the defense. They're having pretty much their way with this game, and you know, if Loudoun's not careful here, there's going to be a couple more goals here for the Rowdies, which you don't want this scoreline to get any worse if you're Loudoun.
Here's Ekra. A little hesitation there by Ekra. Gets the cross away, and this is headed down, and nervously close there to an own goal, but Zamudio's able to collect it. Distributes quickly. Vom Steeg is up there. Fletcher is as well. There's Vom Steeg, and now Espinal. Espinal, the cross falls for Freeman, who slots it home. A lifeline for Loudoun.
Here we go.
Good build up again. The two 16-year-olds helping the 19-year-old score for Loudoun United.
And I know I talk about goalkeepers quite a bit, but this comes off of a Zamudio ball. He gets the ball, he plays quick, he finds that outlet, he doesn't give the Rowdies a chance to set up. I know that they like to play short in the back, but he pings that ball out, finds the target forward, He's able to create something. The 16-year-old, once again, puts the ball in a dangerous spot. Unfortunate clearance there by the Rowdies. And exactly what we don't want to do if you're the Rowdies. You don't want to give them life, but Loudoun takes advantage of the opportunity. They have a little bit of life now. And buckle up.
Yeah, now there's something to at least hang their hat on and gives them a little bit of something going into these final 10 minutes. No clean sheet as well for this Tampa Bay side.
And I think if you're the Rowdies, right, you're still pressing. You're up 3-0, but you're still pressing. You're still playing aggressive. And at that point in the game, if I'm the Rowdies, I might want to just think about sitting back a little bit, riding it out. Because you take a lot of pride as a defense, you take a lot of pride as a goalie in getting that shutout, but you left yourself a little bit exposed. And again, credit to Zamudio. He didn't play short. He didn't wait for the Rowdies to get back. He didn't play the short ball to his center back. He looked up, he found his target forward. He has great feet, played a dangerous ball, and that created the attack.
Now it's Tampa Bay who look to play out. Fernandez. Referee able to get out of the way of that pass, but Jan Ekra couldn't keep it. Now it's Wyke. And the inaugural USLW League playoffs are in full swing. We've reached the semifinals, which take place this Sunday. That is tomorrow. Go to USLWleague.com for more information on how to watch and follow all the drama. And the W League final coming up next weekend as well. Slipped ahead for Harris. The cross coming in. High degree of difficulty on the shot. Chance still there, and this one slotted home. Sebastian Dahlgaard didn't even think about it, just put his laces through it. It's now 4 goals for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They are a goal-scoring machine at the moment.
Immediate response. What a difference from the first half. The first half, we were wondering if we were going to see any goals. We've had 5 in this second half. Again, it's Harris getting down the right side. Good ball in here. Harris again has time to pick his head up. Good little layoff here. Little fortune on that. Boom. Good contact. Great finish.
It's his 4th goal on the season, Dahlgaard. And now the Rowdies have 4 goals tonight, and they have just been on an incredible goal-scoring tear over these last few games. You look back at what they've been able to do: 3 goals against Hartford, 2 goals against Memphis, 5 against Pittsburgh. And of course, this whole unbeaten streak started with the 5-goal outburst against Phoenix Rising. They also put 3 goals up on Pittsburgh in their home fixture against them. So they have really been pouring in the goals as of late.
Lighten up the score sheet in the second half. 4 goals in the second half. And again, when we talked to Coach Collins after the game, he has to be so excited about how his subs have played off the bench. That's what you want out of guys. A 0-0 game, you make those halftime subs, which is a bold decision, but it paid off. They made an immediate impact on every single goal that we've watched tonight.
It's the 3rd time Loudoun has conceded 4 goals so far this season. They did it against Detroit City and against Oakland, although both of those were on the road.
I do think that there have been some bright spots for Loudoun. I've been very impressed with these 16-year-olds that have come on. They've been making an impact. They've been buzzing around.
Fernandez. There's no doubt Tampa Bay searching for more. Harris. Lawrence Wyke. Cross comes in, little flicked header. This will stay in play all the way at the end line. Cut back across. And Wyke won't be able to keep that one in play. Well, eventually came to be, but I guess where was this in the first half for Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, I think that, you know, Loudoun kind of got exposed a little bit. The first 2 goals kind of caught them on the counter. They weren't able to get in the block, and that's what Loudoun tried to do tonight. They try to be set in their block. They try to be disciplined, and you really try to make the Rowdies break you down. But the first 2 goals came off of Harris having some space out wide. Loudoun not having the chance to set up, not having the chance to get behind the ball. But we talked about in the first half, if you're going to let the Rowdies get off and running, that's when you're going to have some trouble. And then once they scored the 2 goals, the game just completely opened up, and now you're seeing all this space for these dangerous Rowdies players.
Fernandez trying to cut that back for Greg. He was just off the mark. All those goals, all 4 of them in an 18-minute span. Freeman weaving. Freeman, it's blocked down.
He's been a bright spot since he came onto this game. He's had 2 or 3 good looks at goal.
He scored 6 goals over 35 appearances in his just about 3 seasons with Sporting Kansas City too. Also spent time on loan with Karlsruhe in Germany last year. Oh, that's not what you want to see if you're Lawrence Wyke. He's pulling up right there. Late on in this game. I hope he's okay. Like he's holding on to that back of his hamstring. And Neil Collins, I think, quickly going to his bench. This might be the end for Lawrence Wyke. They have 1 sub remaining. Greg. There's that pressure again, going right through the legs of Jake LaCava. Here's Guillen. Ball played out wide. It's Harris driving forward again. Quickly comes infield. Fernandez has the shot blocked down. There's Lawrence Wyke. Looks to be carrying out okay, but he is going to come off here in just a moment. Here's Hilton. Flicked forward again. Fernandez. Fernandez! You could see what he was trying to do there on his left foot. A big smile on your face.
Yeah, you could tell. You even hear his own teammates yelling at him, shot, shot. All the time in space. Those are the types of shots that you practice all the time with, especially with your left foot. He takes that touch in, picks his head up. Probably would have loved to curl that out, curl it into the top corner, but unfortunately it didn't come off.
Here is the Tampa Bay Rowdies debut for Ian Antley, 27-year-old, and the brother of Connor Antley, of course, who unfortunately had to check off earlier in this game, but the 2 are brothers. Signed yesterday to a 25-day contract, and it's great to see Ian Antley back and playing over the last couple of years with the Richmond Kickers in League One, suffering a couple of knee injuries, so just so great to see him back out there and healthy. There's Loudoun coming forward again. Fletcher, pretty good shot from that sort of area, and a save for CJ Cochran.
These young guys for Loudoun have really impressed me since they've come on. They've been buzzing around, they've been good on the ball, they've been creating dangerous opportunities. You know, unfortunately, they haven't gotten rewarded too much for what they've been doing, but they've been making life a little bit difficult for this Rowdies back line, and, you know, for a 4-1 scoreline, I think that they've done a good job of continuing the pressure and making life a little bit challenging.
And You look at what is to come for this Tampa Bay Rowdies side. Next couple of games could be interesting. Home match against Atlanta United 2, and then they'll go on the road to a struggling Indy 11 over the next 2 weekends before they return home, face Detroit City, and then a couple of trips to Lou City and Colorado Springs. So we'll probably look at these next at least 2 games and say, got to get probably 6 points out of those 2 to keep some pressure on the top of the standings.
I love what I'm seeing out of Fernandez. This is the 90th minute. MVP candidate already has his goal, and he's still pressing. He's been pressing this entire game, and it hasn't changed the entire 90 minutes. His engine is off the charts.
It's 3 minutes of stoppage time added on. Antley plays this ahead. Ball comes back for Fernandez. Infield for Ekra, just behind the referee. Ekra. Kava trying to keep this in.
Always good to see someone coming on the field after dealing with injuries. Good for him.
As this is lofted forward, flag straight up for offside. As Vom Steeg has taken on more of a striker role after coming up from his center back position.
Always love when center backs just decided, you know what, I'm going up. That happens usually towards the end of games that are a little bit challenging. Sometimes the center back just says, you know what, it's time for me to go up and see if I can make a difference up top.
He has gotten that opportunity. Playing down the wing, flag up for offside again. Midway through the minimum of 3 minutes. And that goals per game average for Tampa Bay will continue to increase. Unbeaten now in their last 10 games, 8-0-2, outscoring opponents 27-10 if the score stays as it is. They will move their winning streak to 4 games. This team is really starting to hit a good patch of form. I don't believe there's been a yellow card issued. Ian Antley not going into the book here.
I think what's impressed me most with the Rowdies is that what we talked about before the game, they were able to match Loudoun's energy. Of course, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, Loudoun came out buzzing around. But the Rowdies did a good job of not letting them break them down, not getting caught up with the energy in the moment, and then just settled into the game. They knew that they were the better team coming into this game. It took a little bit of time. It probably took 20 to 30 minutes for them to settle in, but once it settled in, it's been all Rowdies, and they've just been dominant. And that's what you see on the scoreline.
And that is the final whistle. A dominant performance in the end. And on the score sheet for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, 4-1 winners over Loudoun United. Their 5th ever victory over Loudoun, and this one was in pretty dominant fashion in the end.
Yeah, you know, Loudoun did a good job of hanging on in the first half, but like I said, the Rowdies just eventually slowly took the game over. Harris made a huge difference on that right side, caught him on the counter a couple times, had all day to pick his head up, and after that first 2 goals, the Rowdies were just off and running.
It was a 5-save performance for Luis Zamudio for the 2nd straight game. As we'll take a look at tonight's save of the match, it is brought to you by Segra. Let the goalkeeper take this one.
Yeah, there's not much he could have done in this one in terms of the scoreline, but he makes a huge save here on a ball that's knuckling, does a great job to get 2 hands behind the ball, puts the rebound out, which is never easy to do with a ball that's knuckling. And overall, I thought he had a pretty good game. Of course, the scoreline, when you're a goalie, scoreline sometimes don't reflect your performances, but I thought he did all he could in terms of making the saves that he was able to make, and you know, did his best to keep the team in it.
So handshakes all around. Tonight's final score is presented by Segra. Tampa Bay Rowdies 4, Loudoun United 1. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this from Segra Field as the Tampa Bay Rowdies are victorious. A dominant performance in the end, and those superstars showing just why they are superstars. Stay with us here as the Rowdies are victorious. Final score is brought to you by Segra. Tampa Bay Rowdies 4, Loudoun United 1. Time to take a look at the full-time highlights tonight from Leesburg, Virginia. And we'll get things started in the second half because that's when the goal scoring got started. They came quick and they came fast. 64th minute, Dayon Harris really influenced this game.
Yeah, great switch of play here. Great individual effort. He breaks down the line, gets his defender all the way down to the byline, picks his heads up, finds the target, easy tap in. We talked about Harris making an immediate impact, and that's exactly what he did on this goal. LaCava with the easy finish, and again, we see it in the 68th minute. Good ball down the line. Harris has nothing but time. If you're Loudoun, where are your defenders? Nothing but time to pick your head up, pick out your forward, a nice, easy tap in to make it 2-0. And this was a killer for Loudoun in the second half.
Dayon Harris coming on off the bench, those 2 quick assists, and there would be still another goal in the cards as they would make it 3-0 in the end here.
Here we go, our MVP candidate, Fernandez, picks it out the top corner. Another good job of getting down the line. They found LaCava in, finds Fernandez, who has nothing but space, and if you let a player like that pick your head up, you're gonna have trouble.
And then on the other end, the 16-year-olds helping combine for this one, but Freeman finishes.
Freeman gets this goal, is very well deserved. He was buzzing around all night. Again, a missed clearance by the Rowdies there, but he makes the most of it, sees the ball sitting there, and punishes the Rowdies for letting it slip up.
And then how about one more for good measure, Sebastian Dahlgaard.
A little bit lucky there with the half scissor chance that ends up at the feet of his player, but does a good job picking his head up, picking out a corner, hits it with pace, and another challenging spot for the goalie to be in.
Well, that is going to do it for our coverage tonight here from Leesburg, Virginia and Segra Field, as it is the Tampa Bay Rowdies who are victorious. Jeff, a pleasure to work with you tonight, and congratulations on your first game as a broadcaster. It was a lot of fun, and it was the Tampa Bay Rowdies having a lot of fun as well, as they got 4 goals on the night and the full 3 points. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Jeff Atnell, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Segra Field. Finishes Tampa Bay 4, Loudoun 1. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.